Hey y'all, it's Shelly and I am Scrappy Longstocking. I am here today to share with you my Project Life pages for the week of May 11th through the 17th in my 2025 album. And I was sharing with you there the plan that I made when I picked the photos and printed them out. I start by just dumping everything out from the page protector because I had already chosen products to use for this week, and I had already cut my photos up in preparation for putting this layout together. And I usually start by figuring out where my photos are going to go in the pocket, which I have already decided from my plan that I put together when I was printing them out. So I choose some of the cards that I want to use and when I'm printing them out. This particular week, I chose this pink mom vellum, and I think it's a remnant from the 2024 kit. Most of the pieces that I'm using this week for this week are from the 2024 kit. I try and use as much pieces as I possibly can, and that includes from my stash as well. So I start with the photos for Sunday. Sunday was Mother's Day, and they're at the top left because I scrapbook from Sunday to Saturday, and I also like to place my photos from left to right across the two pages. This week I also don't have an insert. I forced myself to only print out enough photos for the two pages because my album is too full and I don't want to have 3 albums in the 9x12 size. So the photos on the left are some screenshots of a prayer and my ticket order for my plane tickets to go to Ohio in June for my 25th class reunion. And then a screenshot of the church service I watched online for Mother's Day. I usually do because I do not like to go to church when the whole place is full. It's just a lot of people, and so I try and avoid the days when there's so many people. And Mother's Day, Christmas, Easter, I usually go to services on the days before to avoid the crowds, those sorts of things. So then on the right hand side, I have the photo of my steps, which I've done almost every week this year. There were a couple of weeks where I missed it because I lost the email somewhere and didn't take the screenshot. But I am trying to have that for as many weeks as I can. And then there's a screenshot of a Bible verse, Psalm 66, which was also for Tuesday. Then there's some additional screenshots. It looks like most of this week is screenshots from Bible reading and those sorts of things. It was a pretty slow week, and just thinking about making progress and what I'm doing. And then at the bottom right is a picture of Rosie, my Friday. She was standing in the middle of my project, looking at me, waiting for some pets, and so I snapped a picture and then gave her some pets. And the very bottom right picture is my Saturday night singles dinner group, and we go to dinner, and after the first couple of times when I ask for a photo, everybody now has decided that we must have photos for our Saturday night dinner group, and we post them in the group just as mementos of who was there and where we went. So I believe that was the second week that I had participated in the Saturday night dinner group, and I really enjoyed it. So along the bottom left there, I'm working on is some screenshots of some Bible verses that I had from, not Bible verses, it was the photos from that were the drawings from the reading that I was doing that week. I was reading in Exodus where the Israelites got instructions on how to make the tabernacle tent and what to do and what to put in there and the specifics. And so I have a study Bible which shows me pictures of, based on the instructions, what it would have looked like when they finished. So it just helps in understanding to see the pictures of what they did. And so I took a screenshot so that I could look at the instructions and the screenshot at the same time. So I put them in the album because I did like them because it was representative of the week. So I use the tags for journaling, and the tag on the left is just some journaling that says, I end up using the purple one on the left, and it's journaling about this week and about the photos there in the left pocket, the 4x6 pocket. The other journaling on the mom card is just a little bit of journaling about what I did on Sunday. And then on the right hand side is journaling, just general journaling about the rest of the week. Making progress and what I was thinking about and what I was working on. And then the bottom middle, I decide to just do some really quick snippets about each day. So Sunday is journaling about church. It just says the word church. And then Monday, the journaling is work plus feeling grumpy and tired. And then Tuesday is just porch light and apple pie day. I forgot to take photos of the pies that I made, the mini apple pies, so they didn't make it into the album. Wednesday was work plus a doctor's appointment plus a MDT meeting. Thursday was office plus progress. And then Friday, doctor for a blood draw plus work from home, and Saturday was Lowe's plus mowing plus dinner with singles group. And I do eventually go into my stash and I find some hearts and stars that were from the Allie Edwards kit, and I just put them on a couple of the photographs. So this spread was very, very simple, and it came together pretty fast since there wasn't a whole lot going on with it. And one of my favorite things to do with all of the vellum in the kits from the last 2 years is to cut it into strips and put the strips along the edge of my screenshots, because they get printed out at 2.5 by 4 so that I can keep everything in the photo that I want in the photo. It's also good because I can crop the photo so that only the stuff I want in the photo is in there as well. With these tags, I don't like the hole in them, so I put a piece of tape on the back over the hole, and it keeps the hole in the tag. And when it's there, I'm able to do that. If it's not there, then I try to either cut it off, or I'll put a brad in it, or sometimes I've put enamel dots over the top if the hole is small enough. I just find it difficult to use tags. I'm not really good at it, and so that's one of the ways that I find to use them is by keeping the hole in the tag so that it doesn't look like a tag all the way. So that's a thing that I like to do. On this one, here's where I I'm trying to decide. I don't like the 4x6 card, and I was trying to decide, did I want to decorate the 4x6 mom card, or did I want to cut it in half and use the space for either a filler card or additional journaling? And I thought it was just it just seems such a large real estate, I guess, if you wanted to call it that, up there at the top left without much going on. And so I thought this has to either be an opportunity to use some of the embellishments for the kit, or if I don't like the way it looks, then I can cut it in half and use it for next year on Mother's Day, either as a title card or as a filler card. So eventually I decide to cut it in half and use it as the other half for next year. And one of the embellishments that was in last year's kit was these purple stickers, and the first one that I'm choosing there for the picture of Rosie said, saying hello, which is really cute because she was coming up for pets. That one with my photo at the bottom right of my group said friends. The one in the middle says, the one I picked says how it felt, because about this time of the month in May, of when the photos are representative of, I was coming out of a time of really difficult emotions and life situation, and the picture is of a lion and a girl in armor. So that photo at the bottom left was, it says documenting it, just documenting what I was reading at the time. The sticker that I picked for the plane ticket was, it's noted, is what that sticker says. And it looks like I had forgotten to tape down the vellum underneath. And so one of the tricks that I use that I messed up here is I usually will tape just along the edge, and I forgot to pay attention to what I was doing, and I ended up getting tape on the photo, and I don't happen to have one of those special erasers which will get the tacky, at least get rid of the tacky on the glue on the photo. So I have to figure out what type that is and where to get one. So now I'm trying to get that off, and I'm like, geez, how am I going to get it off? And then I finally was like, I got most of it off. And I said, that's good enough. So I just put it right back in the pocket. My steps say the sticker I chose, the word phrase sticker I chose was showing up. And I didn't want to cover up any of the details, because when you look at it in person, you can see all the details of how many more steps or less steps, and the stats. You can compare them week to week. And then that sticker says around here, because it's just a screenshot of a verse of the day, I think for Mother's Day probably, with the placement that I chose. And then the bottom is the screenshot from church. So it's just around here. And now I'm wanting to put an additional little embellishment on, and this is where I just choose hearts and stars for that sort of complement or match some of the colors. Like in one of them I choose a gold star or yellow star that matches the gold yellow in the mom card that's already set up for journaling. And I choose some blue and some teal, and I just put they're sort of puffy stickers, so I put those on with the word phrase strips, and it just gives a little bit extra. And so before I do that, I try to decide, how do I take away some of the bigness of this mom title card And initially I was thinking, oh, I should put a label on there and then put the dates on. But I didn't like it. I didn't like the labels I had. I didn't want to cover up the words because I chose that one specifically because Mother's Day was Sunday. And so because I didn't want to cover up the words, I felt like it was better to just cut off some of the words and pieces of the words, because you can still understand what's going on, versus if you cover up some of the letters, you don't fully understand. I still decide to look at a couple of other options, like moving the journaling card at the top and making the photos in a row, but I didn't want to have all the photos in a row and all the words in a row. I wanted to make it not in a pattern, but not perfect either. So I'm trying to go for slightly imperfect, because that way I don't have to be perfect and precise. I hope that makes sense. But some people like to go with design principles and follow the rules and stuff. But most of the time I'm trying to be slightly off kilter in order to avoid having to be perfect, so that it relieves the pressure for me, I think, and makes it just a little bit more fun. I'm trying to get things settled in and put into the pockets, and I always seem to have to trim the cards down. It drives me bonkers because every so often I get every so often I don't cut it just right, but I don't want to get out the trimmer for every single little tiny thing. And it just becomes a little frustrating, but it's fine. I'm beginning to get used to it. So finally I've made those decisions and I'm moving on. And I'm trying to make sure that, hey, I'm not covering up a bunch of stuff on these photos with my embellishments. And I think total, this took maybe 45 minutes to put together, all together, including walking back and forth to my craft closet and choosing the various embellishments and that sort of thing. So it was a really easy spread. And I think part of what made it easier to put together was the fact that I also didn't have an insert, and it was a very slow week, and there just wasn't a whole lot going on. And I decided intentionally to go easy on myself with the journaling and just sort of give it a little bit of information instead of, oh, I've got to put every little bit of thing and explain every photograph. Like, looking at it, I expect looking at it 5 years from now, right? I expect I'll know why there's screenshots of these pieces of the temple and the card right next to it tells that it's from Exodus. So I'll know, oh, that was probably my Bible study in the morning. And with the screenshot of Happy Mother's Day and the small little bit of journaling next to it, I will know 5 years from now that, hey, this is Mother's Day. And I probably should have stamped the actual date on there, but I didn't, and I think that's fine too, because I don't know as if 5 years from now I will care about what the date is. And that's really the point of this, is what do you care about? What do you like? How do you view this project? For me, I really just want to have fun. I want to have fun while I'm putting the pages together. I want to play with the papers and stickers. I really have this weird, I think it's weird, maybe it's not weird, but this weird love of stickers. So I really like them. And anyway, so that's the purpose of doing this project. I have often thought about doing the project while just digitally only, but I really do like having playing with the papers and touching them and choosing them and cutting them apart and making decisions. I like that part. And I don't know as if it's as much fun, even if it would be quicker. I don't want to take the fun out of it. So I don't think it would be as much fun if I did it only digitally. So I decided to leave me journaling in this week just because it was coming together so fast. I figured, might as well. And so that one was the journaling about what I did on Mother's Day. And really, that's literally what it says is I did this, then I did this, then I did this. I didn't really include any feelings in that one at all. And then the purple May Stories card just has journaling about Exodus. And then I've already explained the other journaling. So this is the end of my video, folks. And I just want to say that I enjoyed hanging out with you today. And I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. And if you want to tell the algorithm that you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and press the like button and subscribe if you want the algorithm to show you more of my videos specifically. And here is that close-up of the pages in the journaling that is there. And I hope to see you around the internet, friends. Bye.